Welcome, Standard 10. Today I'm going to start with a new topic, that is function overloading. As you know, that polymorphism means an object existing in more than one form, and in Java, polymorphism is implemented by function or method overloading. Now, what does method overloading or function overloading mean? It means that a number of functions, like two or more functions, having the same name, okay, having the same name with a different list of arguments, and they are present in the same class. And in one single class, there are different functions. Every functions have their own function. They are the same function name, but with a different list of arguments. Now let us understand what are the points that we should remember when you are attempting a program based on overloading. Okay, here we have an example here. So based on this example, please remember the 3 points. The first point here is that the function name should always be same in every respect. Okay, the function name should always be same in every respect. When I say that is both in terms of case, that is uppercase. If one is an uppercase, the rest also should begin with an uppercase alphabet and the same alphabet. That means there should not be any spelling mistake. Here there is area, so here also area, and here also area. That means all have the same function name. That is the first one. So the function name should always be same in both, that is both in terms of what you call case as well as spelling. Then the return type, when we talk about the return type, these are the return type. Now return types, remember, may be same, may not be same. All may have void, all may have int, all may have char, all may have float, double, anything you can have. So return type, there may be same or they may be different. Means all these functions may have different return type also. Right? And the third one is that these arguments, I'm going to compare these arguments and I'm going to tell you that these arguments should always be different. Please remember, the arguments should always be different. Now different in what respect? In terms of what? These arguments should be different in terms of, the first one is in terms of number. Okay, number means, like for example, if you compare the first and the second, in the first what happens, there is one argument, that is x. In the second argument, function, we have two arguments, so they are different in number. They are not different in data type, all have integer type. This one, the first one has an integer type argument, the second one also has integer type arguments. Okay, but the difference is the number. In the first one, we have only a single argument, whereas in case of second function, we have two arguments, so they are different in number. Then let us consider first and fifth, the first versus fifth. In the first case we have area int x, whereas in this case, in the fifth one we have double x. That means they have single arguments, both are having single arguments, but the difference is in terms of data type. So the function argument should either be different in terms of number or in terms of data type, or we move on to the third one. Okay, that is, let us understand in terms of both number and data type. So if you consider this way, the fourth and the fifth one, if you consider fourth and the fifth one, what happens? They are different in terms of number, yes, because the fifth one contains only one argument, whereas the fourth one contains two arguments, so they are different in number. And then they are different in data types also. Like in this case, what happens? There is only one double, but here you have a double as well as int. So on the whole, what happens? They are different in in terms of data type as well. So we have seen that the function arguments are either different in terms of number or in terms of data type. Okay, in terms of data type or in terms of both data type and argument, data type and number. And the fourth one is they are also different in terms of order. That means the placement. If you consider the third and the fourth one, look at the difference here. The number is same, the data types are also almost the same, but the difference is their order. See here, the order in this case, here it is int x, and it begins with int and then ends with double, where it begins with a double and ends with int. So here it is, see just a placement difference is there, int x and double y, here it is double x and int y. So the order of the argument is different. In this case, in the third case, in the third function, first int variable is there and then we have a double variable. Variable name can be any name, it doesn't make any sense. Whereas in the fourth case what happened, we have a double first and then we have a int. So they are different. So remember one thing, that the function name should always be same in every respect. The return type should always be, may be same, may not be same. And the arguments should always be different in terms of number, in terms of data type, in terms of both number and data type, as well as in terms of order. So these are the points that you must always remember while you are, while you are trying to solve an overload function, program. And this is, remember, it is a compulsory program. You will always get this program in ICSE. Okay, and the easiest of all the program in section B. Let's move on to the example. I'm going to illustrate this function overloading with an example program. So for that, let's move on to the next page. I have written a program. Two programs are there, two questions are there. A same program but two different approaches. Okay. In the first case, it is design a class to overload a function called area and to print the area of the following geometrical figures. Now these are the geometrical figures that we have got. One is a square, as we know, side square, rectangle, the area we know, length into breadth, circle is there, pi r square, and area of a right angle, the triangle we have I've included over here, that is half into base into height. And then take the value of pi as 3.14. So this is one question, please remember. This is one a single question. So when you get this type of question, when you have all these things, area, rectangle, circle, like that, and the variables are given, that means these are the variables you have to take within the parenthesis as an argument. So always remember, first count the number of arguments, as I have done it in the question paper itself. Like if you notice here, you have only a single argument that will take, the function will take, that is area function will take only a single argument. In this case, it will take two arguments. In this case, there will be only one argument. Like here you have two arguments. Okay, you have one argument. Here you have one argument. Here again you have two arguments, B and H respectively. So that means, what do you understand? What if you remember the points as I spoke just now? That is, in these two cases, they are matching. So that is, the number is same. So if the number is same, then in such cases we have to differentiate in terms of data type. Similarly, if you notice this one, these two, again the numbers are same. That means we have to differentiate in terms of data type. That means here you have to act upon your own discretion. You have to differentiate. You have to do it so as to make overloading programs successful. Otherwise, what will happen? The moment you write the same, suppose you take, for example, here you have written int. Here also, if you write int, that's not a program of overloading. You are defeating the purpose of overloading. So please be very careful while you are attempting an overloading based program. Let's go into the solution of this particular program. Let's see the solution. Okay. So as we know, we have to define these functions. The first one was area int s. So system out of println area of square equals to s into s over. Then the second one we have area int L comma int B. So we have got area of rectangle, open length into breadth over. These are all function definitions. Just define them. Then another one, as you notice, it was s int. Now again a double r. Why I have taken double r? Because if I write int, then I will defeat the purpose of overloading. So in order to make the overloading successful, what I have done is I have used a different data type. So double R, and so therefore it becomes circle, and of course the formula we are using, and then we are printing the area of the circle. Then we have the next one, that is double H and double B, because if you remember I had taken over there int L comma int B. So you have to differentiate them. You can make one as int, one as double, but you cannot make both as int, because you have already chosen two variables with int type. That is the reason. So you have to make this one as as overloading. So this is the class, and the moment you end, that becomes overloading program. This is what we have in the overloading part. If nothing is given, please remember, in most of the cases so far, till date in ICSE, whatever the question that they have given is purely based on this. They have not given main method. But let us see the next, the question. The next question here, the next question I am going to see, same program, but I am going to make some changes. Look at the changes, try to differentiate, because you have to understand what the program is, what the question is all about. In the second question, the same thing over here, I have made the changes. Design a class to overload a function area, same thing. And to print the area of the above geometrical figures, same thing. But remember, there's one thing that I have added over here. This is the line that you have to be very careful. As per the user's choice. That means, the moment you come across as per the user's choice, we are going to use a switch-based program. Now, in a switch-based program, what we have to do over here is, what you can do is, that you create an object. There are various ways of doing it. We can take this program, this whole program, you can do it in switch case, because remember, in case of switch here you have the numbers that are 1, 2, 3, 4, so integer type. So we can write case 1 this, case 2 this, case 3 this, case 4. That way we can do it. Or there is another method which I have done, and I am going to show you. I have kept as it is. Same program I have kept as it is. Look at here. Look at this one. Same program, there is no change. Void area int s. There is just an addition of import and static scanner, because we are going to accept the values. And now what we have done is, I have created a public static void main here. Now see what I have done. As I told you that you can simply write those in the switch base, but I have done it in this way. What I have done is I have created an object, as you know, and 1 press 1 for square, 2 for rectangle, 3 for circle, and 4 for rectangle, triangle. Now enter your choice, switch ch is a variable accepted as a choice, that is from 1 to 4, ch case 1. So case 1, what I have done is, I have accepted value for a side of a square. And see what I have done. ob.area and s1 I have put. So what it will do, it will search for this particular, function in the class. Where is area with an integer argument, a single integer argument? It will look there and it will find, at the beginning. Here it is. So it will put the value of s1 into s, and finally it will calculate and print the area of the square. Similarly, remember the user has a choice. Break, every case ends with a break. So case 2. Case 2 for the rectangle. So I have taken L1 and B1 and ob.area L1 comma B1. That is both are integer type. So it will look for, when the binding takes place, it will look for the area which contains 2 integer type variables. That means, as we know, in this case there are 2 integer type variables. Where do you find it? It's here. It will calculate the area, it will put into L and B, and then finally print the area of the rectangle. Okay? Then the third case, the same thing. Same thing happens here. In the third case, we have entered the radius, double R, one I have taken. So when this function is called, area, that is R1, R1 is a double type, single argument. It will look for the function area that contains double type, single variable. So double type single variable is here R. So what happens when binding is successful? It transfers the value, because the characteristics of a formal parameter is to receive a copy of the actual parameter. So receive the actual parameter, the value of the actual parameter, computes them and prints the area of the circle. Then finally we have the next one, that is the last one. That is area, that is height and base. We have calculated, and then the last part of the string area, that is area of a right angle triangle is calculated. Okay. So area of a right angle triangle is calculated over here, double H and double B, and that's how what happens. We print them. Both are double type. We have taken, and then default is your system or printer then invalid choice, and end of main function as well as end of class. So this way you can do it. So it depends on the question. Please remember, when you get the question, it is the question that matters, and in most of the cases, it is the first type of question that you will be getting. And if at all, as I said, that if you get user's choice, then you can put all these ones into separate case, that is switch. Take a switch except those things, the way that I have done it, that is till your this one, till here, till here, till case 1, and after that, after case 1, what you can do is start with void area, print it, again case 2, void area, print it and break, then again void area, this one break, then void area and break, end of switch, end of main function, and end of class, straight away without writing main method. Also you can reuse the switch. Is that clear? So I hope you have understood the two ways of attempting. So it depends on the question, please remember, and in most of the cases you get the first type of questions. So in case of any doubt, do not hesitate, do write to me. You have my number, or simply you subscribe to the channel. You will be getting more and more of a videos that I keep on uploading them. And in case you have any doubt, just feel free to ask, and you want a solution, take a solution, no problem. Try to solve those assignments on your own. Give it a try. If you don't, I'm always there to help you. Alright? So till then, be safe and do practice, please, because every day the more you practice, the better it is for you. So till then, take care, God bless you all, and enjoy the days.